Yeah, they had a shift and said that this is waking the people up too fast. We might want to cut back on prices.
You may very well be right. I mean, but the other reason I think they want to cut the price of oil is they've done this repeatedly before.
They go up and down.
And they did it in the early 1980s. And you say, why would they possibly lower the price of oil intentionally? Well, very simply because that's where you get rid of competition. And there were a lot of people in the 1982, 83, 84 who were out there, you know, they were wildcatters. They were trying to develop oil on their own. And, of course, they might have a few $1 million. And, of course, they dropped the price down to $10 a barrel as they did, and they just bankrupted them.
Well, that's happened over and over again. They jack up oil prices for a while, and then they lower it again. They admit it's come out in their own documents to bankrupt all of their competition. This is what I want to do for the last 15 minutes we have. I want to give the number out to listeners, but specifically only for Lindsey William and Dr. Stan Monteith on energy, on oil, on the issues we've been talking about in the last hour. 1-800-259-9231, 1-800-259-9231, and specifically on this issue, and we'll go to your calls here in just a few minutes. Dr. Monteith, the gear-up of the police state, what do you think they're gearing it up for?
Well, I think they want to take away our freedom. You know, it is the most amazing thing, Alex, and I know you're aware of this, but maybe your listeners are not, but this housing bill they passed last week, to help, you know, the people who are losing their homes. What does it include? Why, everybody working for the mortgage industry is going to have to be fingerprinted. How many people in the listening audience believe that the reason we have a housing crisis is because the people who work in the housing industry and the financial industry aren't fingerprinted? And then the other thing was, as an adjunct, as part of this legislation, all of the records of everything you purchase with a credit card will now be sent to the Internal Revenue Service. How many people think that we had a housing crisis because the IRS didn't have a record of everything you buy? I mean, this is the most incredible thing, how they create these crises, and then they use them as a cover to collect these dossiers on American citizens. You're absolutely right, Alex. They are planning on a dictatorship in America. I know you've probably seen that clip of the film from the Iran-Contra hearings where Congressman Jack Brooks is trying to bring out the fact that there's a plan. He's asking Oliver North about the plan, you know, to suspend the Constitution and put people in concentration camps.
And now we're alive when all of this is coming to fruition. We're now, all the globalist setups, all their global manipulations to bring in this world government, to bring down the U.S., we are now, to make China and Russia the new powerhouses, we are now here at that point. What would you say, Dr. Monteith, Pastor Williams, what would you say to the police and military right now who are finally listening to us and finally realize just how real all this is?
Well, I would say, first, your loyalty is to the Constitution, not to the people in positions of command. And when push comes to shove and when they try to declare this dictatorship, which they will do under one guise or another, you're going to have to decide where your loyalty is. I hope it will be with the Constitution and with the American people, and not with the elitists who control our military and control the reins of power. And through federal extension of gifts to the local police force, now we have, in many instances, a federal militarized local police force that's under the control of the federal government. What we need to do is take America back.
Alex, I've done some investigation since I was contacted a few weeks ago. I am amazed. I can't give their names because I'm not allowed to. I wish I could name over the air, which I won't, the number of top oil company officials that I knew when I was in Prudhoe Bay on the Trans-Alaska Oil Pipeline that have moved to a safe haven. I know where they are. I've been able to make contact.
Cook Islands, New Zealand.
It is amazed how they've moved out of certain...
Hold on, let me ask you. Cook Islands, New Zealand, Switzerland?
They've gone to some safe spots in America. Many of them have moved to Alaska and gotten back out away from all of it.
Montana. Well, all I know is that a lot of the rich people I know have been leaving the last 3 years. Dick Cheney buying a house in Dubai, Blackwater moving offshore, Halliburton to Dubai. But you're saying Dubai is going to be even worse.
They're making preparations for themselves, and you can be assured that they know what's in the wind.
Okay, let's take a call. Al in Los Angeles, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Alex, Alex, I was wondering, where is it that you can find that specific phrase, North American Union?
Oh, well, it's in Council on Foreign Relations documents where they talk about North American integration. We've got Vicente Fox on video. We Are Change interviewed him. It's actually in the extras it's in the film, in Truth Rising. We say, you want to set up a North American Union, right? That's the plan. He says, yes, that's what we want. It's in Council on Foreign Relations, published books. It's going back 50 years. The New York Times has reported on the plan to set that up. I mean, Dr. Monteith, you want to comment on this?
Well, the Council on Foreign Relations published a book called Building a North American Community. And they actually published it. I purchased it from them. And this is what they want, a North American community, a North American Union. It is simply part of a master plan. First of all, to unite Europe, and then to unite North America and South America and Africa and Asia and the Asian Rim countries. They know exactly what they're doing.
And they always deny that there's going to be a North American Union, or there's going to be an Asian Union, or an African Union, or a Mediterranean Union, or a European Union. I mean, they just last year had the 50th anniversary of the Treaty of Rome, okay? In Europe, 50 years of the European Union. But they officially told everybody in Europe it didn't start till 2000. So they, in their SPP documents, September 23rd, 2006, the Judicial Watch suit and got the first item on the agenda, and this is, by the way, an endgame, is keeping it secret. Okay, does that answer your question, Al?
Yeah, I was just also wondering if you could put that up in your famous quote section on your website.
You know, we've posted all the articles and everything else 100 times. I don't have the staff to. We need to get a bigger internet staff. I'm planning on trying to hire some more web people. I mean, you have no idea. I'm not whining. I'm literally working constantly. I was here at midnight last night. It's Dr. Monteith, you want to comment?
Well, I know how hard you work, Alex, and the people out there have to understand that all of us here in the Patriot Movement have limited funds, and you just need a lot more help, and I appreciate everything you do. I know how hard you work. I know my poor wife really is the bulwark of what we do. She works 12 to 14 hours a day just to raise the funds. We don't get a cent out of this. We do it because we're trying to save America.
Yeah, I mean, we just post. I've posted the info over and over and over again, had guests on over and over and over again, and we do need to make sections that are easier with the basics, but it's all there. We can't direct you to all of it. Thank you for the call. We're gonna skip this break for Infowars.com stream listeners. They got to do this now more and more because this info is too important, too powerful. So when the podcast, everything goes out, you'll be able to hear what's behind the scenes. Also, PrisonPlanet.tv members are watching us live on the web. And the final segment is also straight ahead. I thought we'd play that Walter Cronkite clip where he talks about how much he loves the devil and the world government. Let's go to Fred in Philly right now. Fred in Philly, you're on the air. Go ahead. Come along, Fred. You're on the air worldwide.
Yeah, I want to take a position that's in between Chapman and Mr. Williams, and that is I don't really think that you can exactly control a level or create a level price of crude oil, commodity like that, if you don't control all the other factors, creation of money, the total demand,
refining,
and I do think that it may be attempted, but let's not jump to conclusions about what will happen or won't happen.
Well, we've got a guest on who's proven to be credible in the past, who's saying his source told him that. Time will tell. I'm not saying this will happen. I believe Lindsey, he's right there. He believes it, and I think he believes it. So, we'll see what happens.
Now, and the other thing is that I think that you still have this, Alex, you still have this phenomenon of you need a tremendous amount of more of engineers, technicians, legal staff. That's tending to keep a price of this high because you never thought that energy was as complicated as this.
No, it is. I hear you. Good points. Let me get a comment from.
Let me just point out that, of course, if you see what happened in April, consumption here in the United States, it was down from about 20.5 or 20.7 billion barrels a day down to about 19.7 billion barrels a day. And yet, during April with the demand.
Wasn't it
falling,
millions
while
of
the price
barrels?
was rising.
Wasn't it millions of barrels?
Millions of barrels, yeah. This is what we consume here. Millions of barrels per day.
And we were using less, but the price was up.
That's right. And of course, the question is, why was that? Well, simply it was all the manipulation on the commodity exchange. And the commodity speculators were driving up the price while there was plenty of oil. And certainly my latest newsletter goes into the background of that. And people from even the oil companies were saying there's plenty of oil out there. Now, why did commodity speculators drive up the price of oil? Well, part of it was for profit. But why didn't the commodity regulators under the Bush administration stop them? They could stop that tomorrow. We saw them do that back in 1980 with the price of silver, and they wanted to break the price of silver. They did.